Smoke by Zeranski. If people have said it once in their life, they said it 1,000 times. They just say, yes, I will, yes, to whatever it is they agree to do, right? Sometimes it's half-hearted, sometimes it's offhanded, off the cuff, whatever. But basically, they think they mean it. But, well, do they really mean it? It could be something as simple as taking out the garbage, or even it's some serious thing they've just said yes to. Not that they're lying, but somehow in that moment their brain goes to goo, and then they just seem to agree to stuff. And then life steps in and distracts them, and that's that. Hell, I've done the same thing. Sometimes you just say yes, yes I will, and then you forget, right? The ramble was Ben Quayle's little preamble to something I figured I'd hear more about as time went on. At some point he'd add the details. It was a Saturday morning, and I met Ben at a park a few blocks from his house, and the day was beautiful. Sun shining, grass green, and freshly cut the day before. He sat on a bench in the shade of a maple tree. Sunlight dappled through the leaves onto his unshaven face. I sat next to him and suddenly got a whiff of something burning. Not quite a wood fire, but a smokiness. I unwrapped a breakfast sandwich of ham and eggs on toasted whole wheat I bought on the way to the park. With one eye open, Ben peered at me and the sandwich. Looks good. Some egg tumbled out of one side onto the paper I'd done my best to flatten on my lap. I pushed the egg back into place with a finger, and I said, "You want half?" "No." He closed that peering eye, and then looked at both. "Well, okay, if you're sure." "I'm sure." The paper crinkled as I endeavored to lift a half without losing any egg. "Here." He sat up straight, and then reaching paused. "You sure?" "I'm sure. And here." I pulled a paper napkin from her breast pocket and gave it to him. Again he said, "You're sure, you're sure." "Take it already." "Just checking." "Fine, just take it," I said. He took the half and gnawed off a piece. On the other side of a hard dirt path that ran in front of our bench was a little area fenced off by chain link. Inside, toddlers putted around on uncertain feet, going from slides to seesaws or to ride on an assortment of plastic animals on big springs. Mothers stood by in various levels of panic and watched. I brought my half of the morning meal to my mouth and again got a whiff of something burnt and sniffed the sandwich, which was fine. All egg and ham nicely fried with browned edges. "Somebody's burning something somewhere," I said, and took a bite. Ben slouched again, his eyes closed, savored a bite, and then he said, "That's me." "What?" My mouth full of sandwich. "That smell of smoke is me." His jaw worked, a bit of egg fell to his chin. "The smoke? How come?" "Well, Lana lit one of those incense sticks this morning." Lana was Ben's girlfriend. They've been dating for 6 months or so. A nice person. A sweetheart, really. "Yep, she lit one of those things and left the room." He wiped his mouth with a napkin, and the speck of egg was gone. He looked at me, shaking his head. "She almost burned the house down." "Really?" I sat straight. "No, not really. Just scorched the living room wall pretty good. Burnt the curtains, scared the hell out of Morris." Morris was a cat that Ben had had for about 5 or 6 years. "How's Lana doing?" I was concerned. She was a soft-hearted person. "She's fine, for the most part. She's making plans to redecorate." "Really?" "Yeah, it's making her feel better to do that. She's feeling a little guilty. Well, a lot guilty. So she's making plans to fix up the living room." He began to watch the kids play. "I feel guilty. I got pretty damn mad after all the panic, but ultimately, it doesn't matter. Lana's okay. I'm okay. The house is fine. And we finally got Morris to come out from under the couch."